Okay, so we got Genius Scientist, the Lockheed Martin guy who wanted to fucking kill that we haven't gotten to. We have, so there's private equity own everything. Another meme not on Okay Buddy. No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
That was on Okay Buddy, technically. Finish the Pearl video right away so we can get rid of that shit. Yes, we're going to finish the Pearl video right now. There's only like 20 minutes remaining on it. We went through, yesterday, went through the Pearl versus Ethan Klein part of the broadcast. And now we're going to do Pearl versus Piers Morgan. I know everybody goes, oh, man, I'm drinking. Oh, no, don't do it. But, like, it's a good video. That's number one. And number two is you all eat this shit up. You love this, okay? You love this shit. Ah! 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 What the fuck? Oh, God. Oh! 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 Why did that happen? Oh, my eyes. My eyes. I need to, like, fucking put acid in my eyes. Oh. Holy shit. Oh, I'm taking my glasses off. I don't need to see no more. I've seen too much. I don't need to see no more. What the fuck? God damn it, Jabri. Son of a bitch. Oh, Kaya got worried. She's like, are you okay, Dad? Are you okay, Dad?
Colleen Ballinger addresses allegations, defending herself in a 10-minute song she posted on YouTube.
So about 3 hours left? No, I'm going to bang through this.
Where we were when Colleen Ballinger busted out the ukulele in response to grooming and pedophilia allegations in July 2023.
I feel like I can already hear the comments on
This changed the world.
Mind-blowing lyrics such as not a
She
groomer,
changed the world.
Just a loser, and the only thing I've groomed is my Persian cat left a lasting impression on all of us, if I had to guess. But
She
none
changed the
more
world.
so than Pearl, who stole Colleen's entire flow, not without adding a couple dashes of anti-Semitism and casual Holocaust denialism, of course.
Why can't we talk about the...
My guess is that Pearl decided to neglect showering for a couple weeks to focus on crafting a song so bad, so upfront in its content, that it's honestly more cringe than it is offensive. Just this brazen rhetoric masked as some quirky indie song poking fun at you know who.
Why can't we talk about them without getting kicked off of YouTube? Now, I'm not saying Hitler was a good guy, but I kinda wanna know why. Now there's all these conspiracy theories, and the more they talk, I think maybe they're right.
Yeah, genocidal language. So lighthearted and fun, huh, Pearl? So silly.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be rude, but why can't we talk about the
The irony of asking why we can't have these conversations in a video with millions of views is pretty beautiful. Pearl certainly got...
Yeah. It's like, why can't we talk about how to avoid the top of the hour ad break, which, again, in this circumstance is probably a good 3-minute break for many of the people that are not subscribed. If you want to punish annoying chatters in the chat, this is your opportunity to gift them a sub to force them to watch this 3-minute of Pearl content rather than the ad breaks themselves. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. It's 20 minutes in. I know. Shut the fuck up. I forgot. Here's the 3-minute ad break now.
Got whatever attention she was looking for, though, because she's entertaining Jewish conspiracy theories. Obviously, the pushback to that is going to be massive and well-deserved. But once again, I guess she couldn't stand the heat, because she quickly took it down within 24 hours. But that doesn't mean it was going to be forgotten after she deleted.
Zylax! Punishing 20 people with 20 gifted subs right here.
The easiest time wiping people's memories of it that fast, though she was stupid enough to make an appearance on Piers Morgan's talk show the following day.
This week, she's facing a major backlash.
Piers Morgan is the #1 at just like being a gigantic piece of shit who just always happens to be next to people who are even bigger gigantic pieces of shit, so he comes across like he's the normal one. He is literally the expert of this shit. He has basically streamlined this approach. And people don't realize that he's doing that, or they don't care because they are bigger pieces of shit than Piers Morgan. But, like, make no mistake, okay? He is an awful person. It's just that he routinely places himself against people who are even more awful than he is.
For posting a song titled Why Can't We Talk About the Jews, which she dedicated to far-right commentator Nick Fuentes before later deleting it.
And just so we're completely clear, this wasn't Pearl's first rodeo. She had been a guest on Pierce's show a number of times at this point. But back then, it was all fun and games for Pearl. She had a blast spouting off whatever garbage she thought was funny at the time, because Pierce never really got in the way. He may have disagreed, but he never really held her accountable for anything on a serious level. So Pearl definitely had her guard down by the time she walked into her third appearance to discuss the elephant in the room. Although the way she reacts to her song being played live on air makes me wonder if she even knew what they'd be discussing here at all. I mean, she looks betrayed, like she had no idea they'd be bringing this up. But I can tell you for absolute certain, she hardly expected Pierce to react the way he did.
Then I wake up the other day and I see this thing that's trending involving you doing this song. And I couldn't really believe what I was watching. I didn't know, why did you find it funny?
Huh?
Did you find it funny? I mean, you know the backlash to it. I mean, you deleted it. You obviously thought you...
Like, what did Pierce do behind the scenes? Like, was she like, actually, Pearl, I loved your new song. It was absolutely excellent. Big fan. Like, what conversations took place behind closed doors? Like, because I cannot comprehend how a human being can be that fucking stupid. Pearl. Like, is she that fucking stupid that, like, she is invited onto a show where that's not going to be brought up immediately after that video happened, okay? Like, you did it specifically so that you could get this reaction. You did it so that people would go, oh my God, what a fucking piece of shit anti-Semite. So how are you shocked that you got the actual reaction that you were expecting when you made the fucking video and you still feel like you got caught in the wind with your pants down, you're pissing against the wind, okay? How? How is that possible? Like, her reaction to the situation feels like her and Pierce had a conversation beforehand where Pierce basically was just like, I loved it. I loved your music. We'll definitely not be talking about it on the show. Or if I bring it up, I will say positive things. Oh, no. Bro, stop. Oh, God. Some of you need lobotomies, dude.
You shouldn't have posted it.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you do that? Genuine question.
Oh my God, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts to fucking watch. The little she gives, it kills me every time. This is the face of a woman who just realized she has to defend a...
Bro, fuck easy. We unbanned him. And usually when we unban people, they like learn from their mistakes in the past and they just aren't like as aggressive as posting. Like as aggressively posting as they previously did. Fuck easy went right back into it dick deep, okay? He dove in dick first into just like consistently writing nonsensical shit in the chat. Bro, dial it back. Dial it back. You're going to get banned again, okay? Dial it back. I knew that it was going to be annoying. Yeah, stop fucking tagging me every time you say something in the chat. That's number one, okay? Stop it. Not good etiquette, okay? Like, like, sometimes he just tags me just for the fun of it. Like, he just tags me and doesn't even say anything. Like, do you think we're having a one-on-one conversation, dog? There's like fucking almost 20,000 people in here. Stop. Okay, now everyone's doing it. God damn it. You guys are so fucking stupid. Ay, this community. What am I going to do with you guys?
Song called Why We Can't Talk About the Jews on national television to the founder of End Jew Hatred and an audience of 1 million people. This is the face of someone who royally fucked up.
Why did you do that? Genuine question.
I mean, the point was more about cancel culture and people getting kicked off of social media if you finished the song. It was more about, like, you can't talk about this topic without being canceled by the left and the right. I don't really have a strong opinion either way. It was kind of just like...
Just to be clear, what are the conspiracy theories surrounding Hitler, which you feel, the more you hear them, the more you're interested in?
These guys are so funny because it's like the one thing that instantly signals to everyone around you, no matter what background they're from, that you're a bad person, okay? There's 1,000 things you can say and do and like hide your genuine fascist perspective. And everybody knows that, okay? People play along with it on the right, you know? And yet, the one thing you cannot fucking get away with, okay? The one thing you cannot get away with is just straight up being anti-Semitic. It's the classic thing. Everybody understands immediately once you are saying anti-Semitic shit, you are a fucking fascist. Okay? You're fascist. Like, there's no redeeming that point. At that point, there's no redemption. You're just like a Nazi, right? Yeah, this is why the normal conservative hogs find Nick disgusting, partially because he also kind of gives the game away. Not only does he give the game away, okay, on the front that he's like a Nazi personally, but also he ruins it for the other races who are like either A, unaware that they have ideals that align perfectly with Nazis, or B, or know that their beliefs align with Nazis, but don't want fucking other people to recognize that.
Well, I don't know because I can't hear them.
Huh?
I don't
well, you know the
I
ones that Nick Fuentes.
Well, I wasn't even talking about Nick.
Despite my issues with him, Pierce does a pretty effective job impressing Pearl on some of the vagueness in her language here. Like, what conversation is she wanting to have exactly? What about the Holocaust can we not talk about?
But we can't even have the conversation.
What is the conversation you want to have?
Without being canceled by the left and the right.
But what
what is the conversation that she would like to have about the Holocaust? I do actually wonder, because I feel like that would be very interesting. And it's the same principle, okay? It's the same principle throughout history. Two issues, okay? Two issues that at least historians have damn near consensus on. Nothing else except for these two issues, okay? No normative values ascribed to historical events except for slavery was bad, chattel slavery was fucking horrific, okay? Bad and wrong. Nazis were bad and wrong. That's it. As long as you don't fucking openly touch both of those and try to defend them, you can get away with saying so many horrid things, okay? You can get away with saying so many horrible fucking things. 9/11? No. It's not even No, that's not even comparable.
Any speech.
No,
I think
it's not
any
speech. It's not any speech. What is the conversation about Hitler and conspiracy theories and the Holocaust that you want to have?
I don't want to have any conversation. My lane is feminism. That's what
Well, you're singing about Adolf Hitler.
Can I finish?
Yeah, but you are singing about Hitler.
Also, maybe I'm crazy or something, but not having a strong opinion on Hitler is still kind of having an opinion on Hitler.
I don't really have a strong opinion either way.
I'm all for nuance, but there are so
Yeah, there's a lot of nuance that Hitler is such a funny fucking soundbite. Or I don't really have a strong opinion either way on Hitler is a strong soundbite in and of itself. It's like that guy that the Good Liars asked, remember at a Trump rally where they were like, so what's your take on slavery? And he was like, well, I'd rather not answer that. And it's like, okay, well, you just answered it then. You know what I mean? There is no not answering that question. When you say, I don't have a comment on slavery, that means you're pro-slavery because everybody understood that. You might as well at that point just say you love slavery. You know what I mean? I got the answer. Okay? Same with Hitler. What do you think about Hitler? No comment. I'd rather not answer. Okay, well, you already did answer because there's only one answer to that fucking conversation. And if you can't immediately and easily come to that conclusion, that means you're on the other side of the equation.
That are just black and white.
Anybody that wants to speak on social media to be able to speak about what they want to talk about
Including Holocaust
without
denial.
getting banned, whatever they want to talk about.
Including Holocaust denial.
If they want to talk about that, as long as they're not inciting violence.
Her own position on this contradicts itself.
This also is pretty funny because like as long as they're not inciting violence, there is no world in which you can adequately debate fascist positions without inciting violence. Yes, violence is a constant in all matter of politics, but fascism is an inherently violent ideology beyond that, okay? Like, the moment that you talk about excluding certain nationalities, certain ethnicities, certain religions, okay, you automatically are advocating for violent solutions.
Getting banned, whatever they want to talk about.
Including Holocaust denial.
If they want to talk about that, as long as they're not inciting violence.
Her own position on this contradicts itself.
This also is pretty funny because like as long as they're not inciting violence, there is no world in which you can adequately debate fascist positions without inciting violence. Yes, violence is a constant in all matter of politics, but fascism is an inherently violent ideology beyond that, okay? Like, the moment that you talk about excluding certain nationalities, certain ethnicities, certain religions, okay, you automatically are advocating for violent solutions. There is no circumstance where those solutions will not be violent. It's just so stupid.
She believes you should be able to say whatever you want on social media unless it incites violence. But I would argue Jewish conspiracies have historically incited pretty much exactly that, so she's just full of shit. Pearl knows damn.
When are they going to start Stalin was misunderstood or Mussolini was misrepresented? They don't get a lot of play. Mussolini doesn't get a lot of play in reality, but the Stalin was misunderstood thing happens all the time. But also, you can at the very least say that Stalin was very good at exterminating Nazis, okay? You can't say any positive values about Hitler because there is none, because at the very least, Stalin was very good at killing Nazis, okay? That much is literally true. And the world, at least in the immediate aftermath of World War II, was very well aware of that reality. The things that Stalin has done, I guess Hitler did do one good thing. That's true. I take it back. Hitler did one good thing. He killed himself. So he did kill Hitler. So there is that. But that's it. That's it. Okay? That's it. Nothing else. Literally nothing else. Hitler did one good thing. He killed Hitler.
Well, the song was never about having honest conversations. Even deeper into this discussion, you can tell she isn't taking any of it seriously.
She thinks women shouldn't vote, women shouldn't have the right to divorce. She thinks that women shouldn't be able.
Who the
This is how you come across, dude. Oh gosh, she's so gummy with it too, which makes it so much worse somehow. But like, listen, man, you say shit like that in the real world, like if you become the manifestation of fucking 4chan on public television, on a national news broadcast, like this is how you're going to come across every time, okay?
wants to listen to this anyway? It's just so juvenile and annoying. The thing about Pearl that she clearly doesn't seem to realize is that she is able to say just about whatever she wants online. She can have whatever gross conversations she desires, but the consequences are a whole different story. It's the consequences Pearl isn't willing to deal with. She can't handle the repercussions of her own statements, which is why she went on an embarrassing multi-tweet cryfest about Piers Morgan after the show. Why does Piers Morgan believe in censorship?
Hitler was a decent artist. No one's willing to talk about it. No, Hitler is not a decent artist at all. I famously went through a lot of Hitler's old paintings, and they were straight up fucking dog shit. For someone who was really invested in like destroying, eviscerating morally degenerate art, which fascists always are, his hyper realism was so dog water because his perspective was off. Like it's so lopsided. He didn't have any of the basics. Like, he literally actually completely deserved to not get into that art school, 100%. Could be painfully mediocre, be accurate to say. It's just so funny because, again, like, fascists have opinions on art as well, which is hilarious because, like, if you lack in fundamentals, like basic shit like perspective, right? If you lack in fundamentals, okay, the best thing you can do is at least try to hide that by being creative. But he had no creative vision and he lacked in fundamentals. So it was like he wanted hyper realistic paintings, but he sucked at it. And not only that, but also like a lot of the people that made morally degenerative works of art, which of course are always boundary pushing, and that's how art happens. And then 100 years later, we look back at it and we go, wow, I can't believe how fucking interesting this was and how formative this was and how important this was to, art history in general. That's how it works, okay? But at the time, people are like, no, this fucking sucks. This actually is, this is degenerative. This is perverted. This is morally unjustifiable, blah, 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 right? So this also happened under Soviets. Come on. Wait, what? Wait, there was also crackdown on art under the Soviets too? I'm not. I mean, I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I mean, sure, okay. There were certainly there was I think a level of control over that as well. But they also personally funded a shit ton of art, and there was a lot of really cool art that came under the Soviet regime that you can't say for the fascist. The fascist censorship prone, like the fascist opinion on artistic interpretation was infinitely more rigid than the Soviet one, which certainly did exist. Soviets literally invented modern film editing, had incredible music compositions. What the fuck's he talking about? Yeah, it's certainly a false comparison. Even if you try to act like Chatter 1, Hassan 0. No, Chatter literally not one in that situation. The Soviets also certainly had a lack of free expression. Like there were controls over what kind of creative output you had, but the reality is that they truly pushed the needle. I mean, this is something that, yes, even George Lucas has praised Soviet films and the amount of freedom that they had at the time, talking about how like publicly funded art is infinitely better than art that is clouded by a profit-seeking motive. Also, it's still hilariously wrong when you try to make this comparison anyway. Like you're desperately trying to compare the USSR under Stalin to Nazi Germany. Why do people bring up the USSR when people talk about Nazis? Because they want me to say that the USSR was bad too, which of course Stalin had made a lot of awful decisions. But saying German expressionism movies came out of the Nazi era, but it was because of Nazi oppression. From the wiki about Hitler's paintings, in 1936, after seeing the paintings Hitler submitted to the Vienna Art Academy, John Gunther, an American journalist and author, wrote, "They are prosaic, utterly devoid of rhythm, color, feeling, or spiritual imagination. They are architect sketches, painful and precise draftsmanship, nothing more." Ironic, though, because it wasn't even precise. They were boring, dull, lacked any kind of creative vision whatsoever, but also they wouldn't even meet the muster of an architectural project, because an architect at least has the comprehension of perspective. They were fucking lopsided. They were like literal windows that were on the ground and shit. American art, famously unproblematic during that period, by the way. We were being very cool to all peoples. Yep. Yeah, I mean, of course. This is why there is no, I mean, if you look at art history at least, there is no like objective measurement or normative assessments you can make. However, if you are to make the comparison between like fascist Germany and the mechanisms of control on free expression, like and art in general, you're absolutely incorrect. That their level of control over what kind of art was allowed and what kind of art they thought was appropriate, it was infinitely worse than the USSR in any period, despite the fact that Stalin himself was also a despotic tiny man with who went from being a short king to a manlet over the course of his life, and behaved in a very manlet way. All right, let's continue.
With a platform called Uncensored. Hashtag when uncensored becomes censored. You did an incredibly stupid thing with your now deleted Hitler video. As I said to you after our interview, own your mistake and apologize for the offense you caused Jews. Or ignore my advice and be condemned as Kanye was for pulling similar anti-Semitic stunts. Your choice. Apologize to the woke mob or be deplatformed like Kanye. Is that a threat, she said to thunderous applause. I'm still waiting on my questions about freedom of speech. Piers Morgan team also told me I couldn't go on the show to discuss other topics if I didn't do this general discussion around free speech. Wops. I wish I could emphasize into words just how many times they told me and my assistant they were trying to build a relationship and not an attack. Piers is on your side. He believes in freedom of speech. Is that fair, honest journalism? They set up their guests and lied to me about who I was debating till right before and falsely defamed me as anti-Semitic. I'm not anti-Semitic, but...
The USSR ethnic transfers are completely unforgivable and are pretty similar to the Trail of Tears, but still not on the scale of the Nazi genocide. Yeah, but that has nothing to do with fucking art, like artistic interpretation. What are we talking about? Like, every single time we talk about the USSR, which there are objectively bad things that the USSR did, okay? Some deliberate and some unintentional, most due to, in the early periods, Stalin's own personal opinion on the matter. I've talked about some of these as well. And then also false triangulations and not having enough, not recognizing that certain needs of the public needed to be met. But what does this have to do right now with like the conversation that we're having? It's like you don't have to write a fucking essay every time. Like, I get it. I agree with you. I just don't understand how this has anything to do with like art under fascism versus art under the USSR. I'm saying the artist who suffered under the USSR was not at all comparable to Germany. Cheddar, shut the fuck up. He's not wrong. Look up the Zhdanov Doctrine. The Soviet crackdown on art was not as severe as compared to the Nazis when the Soviets, didn't call art they didn't like was Jewish and try to wipe it out. Yeah. They did not say all, well, they did, there was some antagonism against Jewish people in general, but, that's for a different time. But that was not comparable to every kind of like thing that like fascists consider to be morally degenerative, be like, this is Jewish art, we have to kill you now. Anyway. And they did that while also simultaneously funding artistic interpretation in general. Which did lead to a lot of incredible art. Anyway.
The word but should never come after a statement like that, by the way. I believe in the right to have all conversational online, no matter how offensive. But Pearl really isn't as committed to having these conversationals as she may claim to be. Pearl just wants us to give her arguments validity without actually challenging them. She doesn't want to be put in a position to defend herself. She just wants a platform to spew harmful narratives with no pushback. She's created a safe space for her and her viewers to be as virulently misogynistic and anti-Semitic as they want. Mind you, her original video was met with wide positive reception before she...
It's also always funny because, like, they portray any kind of disagreement, no matter how valid and just, as, like, broad, systematic censorship. It's like, that's not what's happening. People are just saying, you're fucking stupid, okay? They do it to me all the time. Sometimes it's even valid. Or in most cases, it's something that people thought was like what I said because they were duped into believing that. But that none of which is like cancerous cancel culture censorship, okay? It's so stupid.
She deleted it. And she only deleted it because she didn't want to have a conversation about it. Literally, according to her, she didn't want to deal with the headache.
So you clearly felt bad about what you'd put up, or you wouldn't have deleted it. You accept that?
No.
You don't accept it?
I just, it's kind of a headache. I was like, well, it just seems like a lot of headache to me.
Right.
Why even become a controversial media personality who claims to embrace free and honest discussions about taboo subjects in the first place then? If you don't want criticism, then don't engage. Though as Pearl has stated, her ultimate goal is to create her very own talk show network. The audacity.
There are instances where I say, let her cook because she is destroying the manosphere from within by being like an absolutely awful representation of these values. She doesn't have the rhetorical skill nor the charisma to be able to like make these points in a more palatable way. But then I am reminded that there are people who unironically agree and support her. And instantly I'm like, no, the people are too stupid. We can't have this. Sorry, we just can't have it. We can't have it happen. There are too many fucking idiots out there.
Network to function as the Fox News of YouTube, which I think we can all agree is a pretty solid premise. I mean, she already sounds like Fox.
Invest in gold with Noble Asset Investments. You will also get a...
Bro, how is your demographics so bad on fucking YouTube that you're selling retirement gold IRA accounts? How is that even possible? These are people who accidentally get to YouTube because the Roku television that their grandchildren set up automatically clicked on YouTube when they turned on the TV. That's how they arrive at YouTube. The people that need retirements with gold IRAs, like that this kind of marketing appeals to, okay, the target for this is like 85-year-olds, man. Or not 85-year-olds, but at least like 60-year-olds and shit. Because it's always a scam. How are you on YouTube and you are able to get this kind of fucking advertisement? It doesn't make any sense.
A 24-karat quarter-ounce gold standard coin for free.
I'm going to do something completely revolutionary. I've always known that this is something God has called me to do. The Audacity Network will make media for children, movies, etc. We will make alternatives for people that are sick.
54 likes. This is literally just Daily Wire, but unsuccessful.
Bullshit. Media is not going anywhere. We should at least have media we could show our children that isn't woke and leftist. The investors we have are insane. There is a demand for a network that believes in gender roles, that believes in truth, a network that actually has the audacity. The Audacity Network will be bigger than Talk TV, mark my words. I'm building the best team in the country right now. You will not be able to stop us. Maybe the first network that exclusive pays in Bitcoin. Banger idea, Pearl. I'm sure that couldn't go wrong. The Audacity Network is going to be an openly Catholic network that promotes freedom of speech. No talent is welcome that goes against what we stand for. Okay, the Audacity Network is going to be the biggest network on the planet. It's going to rival mainstream media in 10 years, mark my words, which is something I'm personally very much looking forward.
The audacity in this situation is just her audacity to think that this is going to be like, valid, justifiable, will work. You know what I mean?
Forward to. We'll get to watch the Audacity Network build themselves up from under 2,000 subscribers and 0 videos to a massive media powerhouse that rivals Fox and CNN. In fact, she's already signed her first talent. Talent might be a strong word, but she signed this person.
This year, I started a network. And what the network is it kind of like the way I saw it was sort of like a TV network, but on YouTube where we have different.
This is the most unlocked Jobbery video review in the entire time Jobbery has existed. You've already doubled the actual video's runtime in over 2 days. Good. 2 days of the charlatan being exposed, Pearl, and legit exposure for Jobbery. Yeah, this is like the amount of top of the hour ad breaks I've run through this video has been insane. Okay, because at the top of the hour there's a 3-minute ad break. This might be a new record. Over the course of 2 days, like, wild, you know? Anyway, you can avoid all of those ads if you want to. I don't know why you would, but here's the 3-minute ad break now.
Shows that we host and different. I'm just a really creative person.
I mean, if anyone can make it work, it's Pearl. She
can
almost count to 100,
thank you for the 10
so
again.
Of course she knows how to build a media empire from the ground up. I just hope she doesn't alienate all of her future business partners like she's done in the past.
I'm making this video today that I didn't initially want to make. But there comes a time when we're all at a crossroad.
and have to make a decision.
Sarah Garvey is an independent influencer who runs in similar circles as Pearl. Eventually, he became the co-host of her show The Pregame after she relocated from Chicago to London. Garvey helped Pearl build a brand from the beginning. He played an active role in much of her content and considered her a friend up until March 2023 when he published this video accusing her of underpaying the people she signed to her network. Her previous one, not the Audacity network, which hasn't really even launched yet. Now, Garvey was never signed to Pearl himself, but they were in talks for him to potentially develop a daily topical news segment for her show. This would involve a contract. The arrangement they discussed meant that Garvey would show up to her studio 4 times a week and work from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., so about 40 hours per week. When asked about payment, Pearl supposedly told Garvey they'd split his ad revenue 70-30. That is 30% to Garvey and 70% to Pearl.
There's nothing fun. There is nothing funnier when you join like a right-wing reactionary network of content creators and then they fuck you. And it's like, man, are you not hearing the things that this person is saying? You know what I mean? Like, you knew. It's like, it's usually, it's the same principle behind like working with Steven Crowder and then like being shocked that he's like trying to sexually harass you and is not a good boss. It's like, yeah, what led you to believe that he is a good fucking boss? He has openly been he has openly advocated for bad bosses. Like, that's like half of his commentary. Half of his commentary is like, your bosses should be able to fucking abuse you in the workplace and you should nut up or shut up. It don't make no sense, man. How does this happen?
I said to her, okay, so what is my guaranteed fee at the end of the month? What is the salary? And she looks at me and she says, we do not do guarantees and we do not do salaries. She said she does percentages. So I said, okay, cool. Well, what's the percentage? She said, Sarah, you're the high end, so you will get 70-30. So I said, fine, okay, let me listen. 70% goes to me and 30% goes to you. Now she looked at me and she said, no, 70% goes to me, Pearl, and 30% goes to me, Sarah Garvey.
That's right. The cost of using Pearl's studio is apparently worth 70% of your channel's ad revenue for 3 years. And that was her.
Hell yeah, dude. Lock them up. Lock them up in the fucking shitty predatory contracts, baby. Let's do it. Great. Always funny when right-wing charlatans do the right-wing charlatan shit to other right-wing charlatans, and they're like, what? That's crazy. I thought we would have like equal ownership. It's like, what do you think? This is fucking socialism? Get the fuck out of here.
A premium deal, too. The contracts she gave other creators are alleged to be even more predatory. According to Garvey, the 2 other influencers signed to Pearl's network were only seeing 20% of the money they generated at most, while Pearl raked in the remaining 80%. I shouldn't have to tell you how blatantly wrong that ratio is.
And I said, hang on a minute. So are you telling me that's a high-end contract for you? She said, yes. I said, what's the low end? She said, it's 10 to 15%. So essentially, she could be owning 80% of the content, the monetized views on somebody's channel, and they only take home 15% of the money. She said yes.
This caused an immediate rift within the manosphere, triggering Pearl's other co-host by the name of Auntie Jenny to respond to Garvey that same day, being one of the 2 creators he alleged was signed to Pearl's 80.
Wait, this is like a real content creator? What the fuck? Dude, I'm so happy I don't know anything about the manosphere. I have completely avoided this dumb shit, okay? That's a person that does content. You've said that you split it evenly with your co-host. Yeah. Because I'm not a fucking piece of shit. What do you mean? I'm not like a freak. And also remember, I'm not even like renting out my closet as studio space. It's not like she is the primary fucking product that we're selling here, okay? That's someone's grandma. What the fuck? Yeah, that's what I don't get. I don't really understand that. It's like, what? You're a whole ass grandma. What's happening
split.
here?
I was excited to hear her perspective.
This is the type of rev share you were describing under socialism on leftovers. Yes, this is what I was advocating for. I was personally advocating for socialism when socialism is when you rent out your studio to other people and you get 70% of their entire revenue for that process. That's how it works.
But most of this video is just her making personal attacks.
Guys, socialism is when capitalism, okay? Let me tell you. Socialism is when capitalism, and it's bad under socialism when capitalism happens, but under capitalism when it happens, it's normal and good.
Attacks against Garvey for wearing cheap shoes.
You're bad-minded and you're bitter. You sound sad and bitter. And then you know your £15 shoes. Your £15. Yes, I check because I'm that kind of person. I looked inside and I saw Primark. I don't do this because I need the money. I do it because I ain't got nothing better to do because I'm retired.
I guess Jenny's point of view is that she's retired, so she doesn't care about the revenue split, but it still doesn't make it any less of an outrageous contract. Garvey still has a right to find his offer incredibly unreasonable. If you can't afford to pay people a decent wage, maybe don't hire them. Or just ask your millionaire daddy for a bigger allowance next month. Pearl made sure to respond to Garvey's accusations herself, not on her own platform of course, but in this interview on a completely different person's channel.
A lot of times people don't understand the cost that goes into the back end of like running one of these things.
She begins by explaining that it's expensive to run a company, which nobody was ever denying. It's just that you should probably—
I love grandma that came in and did the whole like, actually, I got skin in the game. Like, I love misogyny so much, I will literally pay Pearl to fucking be misogynistic under her network. Like, I can't be doing this fucking thing on my own, yeah? I need a bedroom fucking studio to be misogynistic, yeah? I fucking got love and a fucking game in it. Fucking pronouns.
Not take such a massive cut of someone else's revenue for 3 consecutive years, especially when they're in person working so many hours on end for you, or sitting and doing nothing as Pearl calls it.
You know, it's fine if you don't want to do that kind of deal. It's not for everybody, but this is for someone that just wants to sit down and do nothing and just come to work and film and not have to learn the equipment, not have to learn literally anything.
Bro, she did a cast media, by the way.
I mean, just imagine if you heard your own boss talk that way about you. Turns out Pearl may be just as bad of a boss as she is a person.
I could come up on here and put some personal stuff about him if I wanted to. You know, that certainly would not make him look good. But like, I'm just not gonna do that.
Why did he turn against you?
I've just found that the bigger I get, it's just like people kind of turn when they see an opportunity to like make money or...
What an entitled, narcissistic response to that question. He turned around and left when he realized he could be doing better without you. You are the one pushing people away, Pearl.
I'm looking for people that, like, I worked a year and a half for free because I just wanted it. You know what a predatory deal is? A predatory deal is a 7-year contract.
So the time limit is what's...
That's awesome. There's even... I love this argument because it's like, listen, you think this is bad? I could be so much worse, okay? Oh, I'm sorry. You thought this was bad? Well, guess what? There's way worse contracts out there, okay?
Solely determines what's predatory. Whether it's 3 years or 7 years, it's still too long to adhere to such an unbalanced revenue split. Once again, you're avoiding the point of contention.
Every person that I have is making more than they made before. So it's like... It's just really frustrating.
Well, you know what I tell you all the time. Fuck the bush, stay above it, and get back to fucking work. Do the thing that you are talented at.
Yeah, the rest of this video is just this guy giving her advice that includes making her employees sign NDAs next time so they can't speak out at all.
Make these people sign to where they can't talk about the terms of the contract if they want to get into contract negotiations with you in the first place.
I gotta pee.
Learn from your mistakes. and then go from there.
But the part that confuses me is that while Pearl maintains that these allegations from Garvey are false, she still admits that, well, the deal isn't for everybody. You don't have to take it if you don't want to. So are these claims about the revenue split made up or not? Why can't you address that head on, Pearl? Because apparently Garvey's remarks were so defamatory, you told Insider you were contemplating legal action. Probably because the false copyright strikes against his channel didn't work. Yeah, that's another fun thing Pearl likes to do, is silence her opponents by abusing the YouTube copyright system when nothing else is working. Not only is this a shameful, last-ditch resort when you're completely out of moves to make, but it's also very much against YouTube's guidelines. But I wonder if Pearl is even aware of that. I guess all will be revealed in court one day, supposedly, but by that point, it's hard to say if enough people will still care about Pearl at all.
But I want to say one thing. Pearl will disappear. She will disappear, like many others before her, because this is something that's just a moment in time. She's like a train wreck. It's like a car crash. You know, for example, you know you shouldn't be looking at it, but you can't take your eyes off it.
The fame that she has amassed so far is really pretty shallow in the sense that Pearl's viewers only come for her talking points, not so much for Pearl herself. Her overnight success can be mostly attributed to the luck she's had in milking YouTube Shorts, but her actual ability to cultivate a grassroots community of people who care about Pearl as an individual is pretty much non-existent. I mean, she doesn't say anything inspiring or insightful. She only appeals to hatred and anger. The rotating door of controversial influencers has seen countless versions of Pearl come and go over the years, none of them really leaving any meaningful impact beyond whatever shitstorm they managed to kick up before their timer inevitably runs out. While her status as a reactionary darling may one day dwindle, the damage she inflicts upon her reputation now will never be restored. We've seen Pearl hit this realization a few times, when her closest friends began leaving her behind, when Ethan Klein held her feet to the fire, and when Piers Morgan humiliated her live in front of a mainstream audience. All of these instances, mind you, have been a direct result of Pearl pandering to a community of losers who will absolutely...
This kind of stuff comes and goes with the waves, right? Hassan Chair definitely adding some original quality commentary to this originally made content. I love when motherfuckers say this because it's like, dog, this is my 8th hour of reacting to this 1 hour and 30-minute video. like people are begging for me to just, you know, this is my 2nd day of reacting to this video that my friend made, okay, friend of the show made. And I have like quadrupled the runtime of it so far with commentary. And people are begging for me to get up from my seat, so I stop fucking pausing all the time. And quintupling the fucking rundown of the video. But I'm glad that you finally found the one moment where I got up to pee over the course of like 8 hours. I'm glad that you sat through at least some of this to find the one moment where you could drop this commentary in it. You should ignore people like her, though. I don't know why you make such a long wait and give her attention. I think it's good to document this kind of stuff, especially because, like, she's getting... it's not like she's getting positive coverage over it. Last but not least, I think that it's because Legal called out peeing while reacting. Oh, okay. Yeah, Legal also officially gave me permission to react to his video, so we can do that as well. And said that I actually had transgressions that were kept out of the video due to time. So I dodged a bullet there. But yeah, he's like, you can react to it if you want. The ego it takes to think, although you've seen 500 before you chucked aside, you're the only one that's here to stay. Well, I was gonna say this. Okay, one, this is a very valid video to make. I think it's a great video to make. And 2, a lot of people like this come and go. We've seen it. I've never seen someone stand the test of time on the right with this kind of commentary. Does that make sense? like Ben Shapiro is one of the only individuals that has been able to like build a viable, robust media network, because he walks that tightrope as well as he possibly can, and has been able to get the funding that is an absolute necessity for this kind of operation to be long term. Okay? You need funding. This is not a profitable institution outside of the funding, outside of the dark money funding. Okay, you have to get it AstroTurf. Like, your goal is to capture market share and immediately go to investors, because there has never been an example of like an independently successful media company like this that is specifically churning out right-wing propaganda. Every single traditional media examples as well have originated with like shadow funders. Conservative media is the greatest fail-son job program. InfoWars probably is one of them, but I wouldn't even factor InfoWars in its origination was not like this insanely right-wing network. And even InfoWars gets fucking money. InfoWars gets a shit ton of money from like random fucking donors. Someone literally gave InfoWars like what, $10 million in crypto when he was getting when he was trying to pay their lawyers during the defamation suit. Like, what are we talking about?
Turn on her the second she accidentally says something they don't like. Pearl has spent the entire past few years of her life tearing others down in order to lift herself up, positing herself as one of the few good women left in society. But that strategy can only take her so far, because what happens when your audience begins to see through the hypocrisy of your own existence? Pearl doesn't live a life anywhere close to the one she expects from other women. She's unmarried, she isn't a virgin, she's hardly experienced or knowledgeable in any of the issues she engages in. She isn't built to last in the industry she's so confidently poured so much time and effort into. But I'm afraid that sooner or later, she will be forced to accept that her choices come with inescapable consequences. Pearl has made her bed, and now she has no choice but to lay in it. Assuming she can ever finish building it.
I have a feeling very small chance you might become semi-normal person in the future if her channel dies and stops creating content. People were asking, like, what are some right-wing examples of people who have like fallen out of grace? Pretty much every single content creator that was in the anti-SJW era, like the Gamergate era, came and went. They had their fucking peak, and they died out. Sargon of Akkad, all those like fucking weirdos that were like, I'm an intellectual. There is definitely a real expiration date on that kind of shit. I mean, think about it, like Doo Bennett's gone. Boo Boo Bennett, Poopy Pants. Some of the ones that still do commentary that haven't died out changed their mentality, either genuinely or for financial gain. Okay? Yeah, atheists. A lot of atheists went the anti-SJW route under the Obama administration. How did you find this video? Like, online? How did I find this video? This is Jabri. He's a friend of the show. We watch all of his videos.
Right, Pearl, you'd be cool.
We're big Jabri heads in this community, you know? Paul Joseph Watson was the weird British guy. I don't know what fucking happened to him. Yeah, there's so many examples of people who just like fucking died out, like completely. Dude, this is 30 minutes. I mean, I got permission from legal to watch this, but the neo-Nazi James Olsen went to my school at Washington State. Stream discussions on Discord went wild when you finally finished the vid. Yeah, it's a celebration. It's a jubilee. We could just wait for Monday, maybe? I mean, I'll take a look at it.
You're being so lazy, it might be illegal. That's right, professional live streamer XQC is facing accusations of stealing content for his own reaction videos while making a complete
By the way, I think everybody understands that it like, I don't think anybody argues that it's legal, right? Like, I don't argue that it's legal. I know full well that it's not. It's like certain aspects of it are absolutely illegal and people understand it. It's more so about it's more so about the gray area of like IP holders not. Why do you have to snitch yourself like that? Because a lot of things are in the gray area legally that we all take for granted, and we would be shocked if people would legally pursue. What do I mean by this? Okay. And I've used this example so many fucking times. So many goddamn times. Okay. Like me drinking a fucking Diet Mountain Dew on stream with the fucking branding on it is technically not like copyrighted shit that I'm showing that I have the right to show on stream. Okay. But it would be absolutely unimaginable if Pepsi Cola Corporation came after me and was pursuing me legally. Okay? Nintendo is the perfect example of video game companies that go above and beyond what is normally established in the industry as a no-no zone. They have all the legal right to pursue anyone that does Let's Plays, and oftentimes end up doing it because they're fucking crazy. Do you get it? They do it because they have every right to do it, but most people react to it in a negative way because they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Why would Pepsi do that anyways? It's free publicity. It doesn't matter if Pepsi benefits from it, chat. We're talking about whether it is legal or not. That is an entirely separate conversation. You are now realizing why, despite the fact that it is legal, for example, or it is illegal, for example, that most product owners, most patent owners, most IP owners in this space don't pursue litigation. There's two reasons for it. Okay? One, first reason, first and foremost, what you just mentioned, they like it. They think it's publicity. They don't give a fuck. Or two, they don't know that it's even happening, or even if they did know it was happening, which leads me to my third argument. Three, how much money can you actually make? Because even if you have lawyers on retainer, okay, even if you have lawyers on retainer that are willing and able to suck every fucking bit of capital from every avenue they can, okay, even if they were to do that, the amount of the legal fees for that, the court fees and the legal fees for that is not going to make it a justifiable venture for them. Okay? Most of the stuff that is illegal to copyright law is bad shit. Yes, copyright is horrifying. So I have two different arguments on this, like obviously the morality argument and the legality argument. The legality argument is that most people, most IP holders don't pursue it because they can't make a lot of money off of it. It's like not worth it, right? And also the morality argument is that it is unjustifiable. It's terrible. It's awful. All art is derivative. It sucks that it's like it's even talked about in this regard. It's basically digital enclosures. I think we're living out the last couple decades, maybe, if not the last couple of years, of the digital enclosures being not permanently pursued. Like the Web 3.0 thing, which luckily kind of fell apart because the NFTs and cryptocurrencies were riddled with scams, was basically that. It was basically that. For those of you who don't know, Web 3.0 was about, digital enclosures in general. A new way to maximize your profits for mega corporations and pursuing or at least like creating a ownership structure where like every single thing that you used had a non-fungible token that you could point to, that you would need to point to, that you would need to pay for if you utilized it. It's been 9 seconds. You're the best. Okay. Well, this is me not doing normal. Like people always expect me to just like fucking click play and shut the fuck up. But like, of course, I have a lot of opinions on the matter, and I'm going to talk about it. All right, let's continue.
Mockery of other people's intellectual property rights. Oh, hold on. This part's great. Man, I love this guy. Welcome back, Legal Eaglets. Today it's time to think like a lawyer because we're going to be covering one of the most misunderstood aspects of copyright law, fair use. So hold on because it depends. But for those not in the know, XQC is one of the most popular and highest paid internet personalities. Over the past decade, the 27-year-old French Canadian has cultivated a dedicated following for his unique style of unfiltered commentary for video game live streams and YouTube videos. Now, XQC's most recent controversy kicked off when he uploaded a video to his YouTube channel showing himself reacting to another creator's video on the JFK assassination.
It's so funny that even to this day, by the way, the owner of this video has never said anything. I don't think. To my knowledge, the owner of this video has never said anything about XQC reacting to his video. Like, he never said that it was bad or wrong. Let me know. No, he did? Wait, really? I thought he either didn't say anything or probably didn't say that he didn't care. He said he was cool with it. That's so awesome. No, show me. I need to see the proof. All right, let's keep going.
Level, given spotted Oswald approaching.
But while reaction videos typically involve lots of pausing and constructive commentary on selected clips, XQC's video is almost exclusively.
You like shit about you being a fake socialist? Yeah, I don't care. He did like a tweet shitting on you. Yeah, there's nothing funnier than like a dude being like, yeah, the main guy that you guys are yelling at who fucking walked away for the entire video, I don't really care about, but this fucking socialist guy, fuck him.
Just him watching the entire
like 90% of like the content disagreements I have with people online with other content creators directly is a consequence of like my personal worldview and never about the act itself.
Entirety of another person's 90-minute video. This triggered an influx of backlash from other YouTubers who accused XQC of free riding off of another creator's hard work, all while reaping financial rewards via clicks and ad revenue.
XQC is saying next to nothing. Again, it's just like, wow, this video is popular, so I'm gonna sit in the corner and my audience will do basically whatever I say, and I'll say it next to nothing and make free money.
And to make matters worse, sometimes he even keeps the video playing while he leaves to use the bathroom or make lunch.
Allowed various work.
Do not. Wait, he's watching Kowloon, right? I watched the video
to YouTube for the lack of react. Boom!
And of course, XQC is not the only streamer who reacts to other people's videos in real time with almost no commentary. It's all over the place.
Me. This part I do think is like silly because it's like, yeah, of course, there are moments where you want the video to run. In my opinion, for example, H3H3 does a really good job with this because they pre-select the segments that they want to react to, and then they basically run the course. You say Asmon is a bad example. It's like saying I do it too, okay? Of course, you have to listen to the narrative if you want to react to it. The principle behind it is, the principle behind it is like Asmon is really good about it too, actually. Yeah, I mean, there are people who do a decent job, and there are people who don't do a decent job. But in this situation, you know, in order to drive home that narrative, cutting five seconds of people's, reactions to a video, like, of course, it's very different than commentary. It's very different than what, like, Legal does. You know what I mean? Legal is writing a script and then picking pieces. There are other people that also do that online, but then there's also people on the commentary side that will have videos that they fucking live react to, or not live react to, but like fake live react to.
Now, XQC claims he's done nothing wrong and accused his critics of being envious of his success. Now, as a YouTuber who has produced my own share of reaction videos and had their videos reacted to by others, this is an issue that is near and dear to my heart, and more importantly, my wallet. And the transformative nature of fair use is one of the most misunderstood areas of the law on the internet. So today, let's take a deep dive into one of the most heated debates on online content creation and fair use that's happening right now. Now, Felix Lengyel, better known as XQC, has spent nearly a decade building a devoted online following as a former top-ranked competitive Overwatch player turned streamer and content creator. And on the live streaming platform Twitch and now Kick, XQC regularly chats with fans, hosts reality shows, and broadcasts himself playing video games. And on his YouTube channel, XQC makes general videos on a variety of topics, including videos of himself reacting to other creators' content, and often re-upload.
Was it Legal Eagle who told you they didn't want to include the chair meme? No, it was, no, I'm not going to reveal who it was, but it wasn't Legal Eagle. Legal Eagle said that he had a segment dedicated to me as well, but he didn't really put it in there because they didn't have enough time, so I got lucky. I got fucking lucky, dog.
Uploading his live streams. Now, XQC is no stranger to controversy, and if anything, he revels in it. He's been historically suspended from Twitch for various reasons, ranging from a copyright strike for live streaming the Tokyo Olympics to an incident where he uploaded a brief clip of two gorillas mating, which he claims was by accident. And XQC has also blurted out homophobic, sexist, or otherwise bizarre comments during live streams. But ironically, the famously outspoken XQC now finds himself under fire for the things he doesn't say during his reaction videos. Now, most recently, XQC kicked the hornet's nest on July 24th, 2023, when he posted a video onto his YouTube channel titled The Kennedy Assassination. XQC reacts to—
Damn, dog, that shit got 463,000 views. That's insane. Holy shit. That is actually crazy. That's crazy.
Lemino. But XQC's video is not so much a reaction video as it is mostly just him watching an entire 90-minute JFK documentary in silence. A number of YouTubers accused
Lady Kanoran, they give the 5
XQC of stealing the content of a fellow creator while providing almost zero commentary that would make the video his own. First, it was Bub Films taking XQC to task. Then some ordinary gamers joined the fray, describing the video as garbage. And this isn't the first time that XQC's non-reactive reaction videos have actually stirred controversy. Neo, a YouTuber who creates educational videos, who you can also find on Nebula, criticized XQC for leaving the room 5 seconds into reacting to Neo's video and only coming back 10 minutes later, which Neo—
It's like kind of sad because Legal Eagle kind of argues that it's not right if you're watching it and making commentary on the go instead of pre-watching and preparing the commentary beforehand. I think that's is the most shaky argument of Legal Eagle. Yes, but I think he's like specifically talking about the legality of it or what would be not legally permissible. And I think that is where we arrive at the gray area for this kind of conversation. If we're going to get into that side of it, if you're going full legal mode, like, yeah, the most ethical way to do this live is by watching all the videos, picking apart exact moments that you want to fucking react to, and picking apart the exact moments that you think moves the narrative so that you can actually adequately react to the video. H3 does this, but even then there's going to be periods where you're just letting the video run in order to react to it. However, I have figured out that in that situation, the best possible thing to do is basically let the video run its course and routinely stop so that the final product, because I'm doing this live, my goal always is to ensure that the final product is something that you can chop down, that it can be like a perfectly legal, valid upload of a video and not just simply a re-upload of a video. Okay? I'm adding a lot of perspective to it. I'm adding a lot of background to it. Even though technically this aspect of it, like what you are experiencing right now as you come in, would be in a legal gray zone. It's because there are certain aspects of a work that isn't just about transformative, but is it also a market substitute, right? Like Can you watch the entire product? Of course you can't. Unless you are quite literally pushing every fucking aspect of it and criticizing every aspect of it. So the reality of this situation is that there are certain like allowable moments in the React Gate saga that everybody kind of gets, and someone can say your valuable addition is not worth XYZ. No, it doesn't matter. That's why, for example, if Ben Shapiro were to try and like hit me for copyright, that would be a legal argument that is completely unacceptable, because I am directly criticizing every single moment. It doesn't matter if he doesn't like the criticism of it. Ultimately, he could try, but he would lose in a court of law. We have literally seen you stop watching videos because you realize you don't have anything to say about them. Yeah. But that is why you will never find a video. You won't find a video on my YouTube page where like, on my personal YouTube page, not in the fucking Hasanabi Clips Industrial Complex, but on my personal YouTube page, you are not going to find a video that isn't like perfectly edited and perfectly transformative, right? It's not going to happen. There are certain members of the Hasanabi Clips Industrial Complex that don't care about editing the videos down and making like a product that is devoid of any sort of like ethical complications or even straight up theft ultimately. But in general, you are not going to find that, and I would not want that anyway, because I don't think that these are good. I do not think that these are good things to like put out there. I don't think this is a good piece of content to put out there. If it was just like there's dead air in between, and there are even moments where I'm like gotten off my chair or something like that.
Described as XQC, quote, making a mockery out of the fact that he is not reacting. He also provided a graph showing that there was no viewership boost for Neo during and after XQC's broadcast. On the streaming site Kick, which XQC recently made a $100 million deal to join, one of XQC's first streams went south after a member of Kick staff had to jump into the chat to stop him from streaming the entirety of The Dark Knight. He then found himself temporarily hidden from Kick's directory, aka shadow banned, for a second copyright violation for streaming Breaking Bad. Now, addressing the backlash to the Kennedy video, XQC asserted in a live stream that he paused like crazy and added a lot of commentary to very generous statements.
Bro, I paused like crazy, added a lot of commentary. Chat, the reason why I didn't commentate is that streams are content. Streams in their entirety are content.
He then claimed he only rushed through because his chat was, quote, getting mad. And after going on one of his trademark rants, he added, quote,
yes, a lot of it is just watching it. Because that's what chat wants. If I commentate too much, chat gets bored.
Now, we'll talk about legal defenses in the future, but this is just classic, the chat got bored, so it's okay to commit copyright infringement. I'm sure he's fine here. But on Twitter, XQC hit back at some ordinary gamers, writing, quote, I'm watching a vid I like to my people that...
Hassan, if you were, how does a big streamer have that take on streaming? I totally get where he's coming from. No, I get it. Back in the good old days, you used to watch so much with not a soul caring. I think what the irony is that like everybody likes the.
Damn, this guy's good.